there's no fancy opening to any of this. We're just sitting here bullshitting with each other. So
That's kind of the best way to start anything, I feel like.
yeah.
I hate when I feel like I have to have a prepared thing
Right.
walking into any meeting.
Right.
Yeah. I would like
we're recording. That's okay. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Say hi to everybody.
Hi, everyone.
So how long have you been at Partyland?
I've been at Partyland now, 3 years, I think.
What were you doing before this?
Before this, I was a creative director, well, like ACD level at RGA. And then before that, I got my start at an agency called the Richards Group in Texas. So I've always been like in the creative world, kind of moving up through agencies.
The Richards Group. Yeah, we know about the Richards Group.
We do know about the Richards Group.
Also now known as TRG. And you know what? I root for them. They had a tough spin around the old roulette wheel of agency life. So we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. All right. So Partyland known for the funny.
I guess. Yeah. No.
No. But here's the thing. And so listen, we've talked to, we've talked to tons of people at Partyland, right? And so the question now becomes, and we talk about this a lot, which is, yeah, we're known for it, but we're not a one-trick pony, right? If that makes sense.
Yes.
So walk us through the vibe of that, because I will say this, it's nice to be known for something. And Haley and I talk about this, Haley Hunter, very quickly becoming one of my goats. So, but let's talk about the funny. And again, not dimensionalizing it.
Yeah, I think, okay, so the thing about this is it's really easy to write off comedy as not something that every client needs or that every client wants or that will work for every client.
Right.
Or every brand. And I think the truth is really great comedy starts with being smart. And if you know how to, or what makes people tick, or how to get at the heart, or how to get to someone's funny bone, that shows me that you're an intelligent brand and you understand your audience. And I think that is the tool that comedy can offer almost any brand out there. And I would argue that Partyland can do that for any brand, especially if they want to enter their kind of segment of the world or their segment of the industry with something fresh and interesting and original. And that is, I think, what Partyland offers. And we do it in a really smart way. And that's something that you'll hear, Matt Heath, our founder, say a lot, which is we're not just funny, we're smart. And I think that difference sets us apart. And I will add that it begins with our audience, but very quickly we sit with your brand, with your product, and knowing the product really well and rooting all of the humor and rooting all of the jokes in the product and in the brand. I mean, immediately then you're pulling at two levers that make it really easy for us to connect.
Everyman Jack, we did a little indie work with them. We did a session. That was really fun. And it was good. Put up your right arm and I want to see your ink. No, your right arm. That one. Oh, you have both. Okay.
Yeah, I have a lot. I'm sort of
no. So tell us about the. I'm getting old. What is that? Is that a rose? That's not a rose. Is that a rose?
It's a rose. It's like a nautical kind of my. I didn't grow up in the U.S., so I think for me.
Oh, really? Where'd you grow up?
I grew up in Singapore and Kuala Lumpur and kind of running around Southeast Asia and then London, and I spent a lot of time in Europe. Right. So when I kind of landed in Texas, of all places, in high school, I've always been a bit of a rebel and kind of just never wanted to do anything that anyone else did. And I think that took me into the tattoo world, and the traditional American style became really interesting to me. So I wish there was meaning behind it. I just think it's a cool piece. And
no, it's fine. No, it's not everything needs to have meaning. It can just be cool. That's okay. That's perfectly okay. All right. I have a tattoo on my hip. It's a fleur-de-lis.
Ooh, very French.
Well, it's very fraternal. Let's put it that way. It was the 80s. So, yeah, it was the 80s. Yeah. We're actually here for a reason, not just to talk about you, but I could talk about you all day. Let's talk about this. So Andy Pearson who, by the way, I invited to come on to surprise us, but he couldn't make it. I was like, can you come in, and Natalia's going to be on, and then it would be funny as hell if you came in. So this is how many times? Third session of Laugh Your Ads Off.
Yep.
It's shy a day. Boo! No, I'm kidding. No, they're fine.
We love them.
No, it's fine. It's fine. They're offering the space. So there you go. I'm cool with that. But this is the third one of them. So you're there. The other indies would be Arian from Orion from Translation, Jason Sperling, our good friend from Enocean. I count Enocean as an indie. Nutter Butter. Oh God, would that be a fun brand to work on, or what?
I am so excited to see what this is going to be. I mean, Nutter Butter has absolutely smashed it out of the park on TikTok. I am so excited for that.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay. So tell me how this works. Do you know how this works? Does Andy know how this works?
I think the key to its success is that none of us know how this works.
Oh, that's good. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. But what are you going to talk about?
Dude, I still don't know. No.
Okay.
I think, and I meant what I said. I really think the reason that this thing is going to work is because it feels like a group of people who are really excited to talk about a subject coming together to find it. I know that they've got panels set aside. I know Andy's giving a talk. I know we're going to hear about Nutter Butter, and I know that those are going to be very specific to each of those brands.
Right.
And then I think within our panels, the way that they've kind of broken out the groups, there is a thirst out there. And what I'm sensing with how these questions are going to start to kind of come together to understand, like, how do we sell comedy to clients?
Mm-hmm.
What is the value of comedy to brands? And I anticipate a lot of questions, kind of insights being shared and discussion being had about that. And then outside of that, I just have a lot of opinions about it and how to make great work. And I'm happy to share them and answer any questions that people have.
Funniest ad in history, in your opinion? Let me see if I can pull up my favorite.
And I'm not allowed to say.
Oh, you're not?
Okay. A Partyland ad, am I?
No, you can. Yeah.
I really love the Holy Veggie work that we did. Like, I hate that I am answering one of our own ads, but there's something so stupid and so smart and funny about that. And I think it's because we were allowed to use like mischief and trickery at the core of the
mischief, the agency. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, right. Funniest ad in history. I'm
going to show you the one that I think is it.
Yeah. What do you think?
All right. So here's, okay. So I believe that this is now we got to look at this as pound for pound.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's not be like, ooh, it's universally the funniest. Right. Yeah. So there's some things that are mainstream funny. This is probably more niche funny. And again, pound for pound, I believe that this is the funniest work that Wyden and Kennedy ever did. And I think the late, great Jim Riswold had something to do with this. But it features Bob Newhart, late, great Bob Newhart as well. But let me know if you can hear this, because I sometimes don't know how to work technology. But here it is.
My father, Frank Mittman, started the Mittman Manufacturing Company in 1942.
News of the world. Mittman, open for the bank. Frank Mittman.
Since then, the Mittman name has become synonymous with ill-conceived products that carry the risk of serious physical injury. The Supmaster 100, the Rocket Fold recliner, and the unfortunate home surgery kit. This is the legacy I've inherited, but we have made a little progress. We just signed up for this great service called stamps.com. It lets you print your postage straight from your printer, and best of all, it's actually legal. It really comes in handy for all our recall notices. Get wall cards, flowers for the families. It's been a bad month. Guys?
Incredible.
Okay, so here's the thing you got to remember. This was 1999, so the context was right. you know, that is that is, people ask me that all the time. What's your favorite ad? And people are like, oh, it's Apple 1984. You know, and I get it. Yeah, it's a great ad. Yeah, there's tons of Nike ads you could point to. That's my favorite ad of all time.
I think that's a great one. I think probably what that did for you, like, God, what a smart, I love it. I've never seen that. I think it's incredible.
Oh, it's brilliant. Yeah.
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 I think for me, the equivalent would be, you know, I loved Barton F. Graf. I think
yeah.
Like came into the industry at a time when BFG was just doing some of their best work. And it really shaped me as a creative, because I felt like, oh, wow, brands don't have to adhere to any one particular tone or one thing. They can try and play and really engage with their audience. And I found the work for Little Caesars to just be so good.
Oh, yeah.
Like the Little Caesar stuff, they made that brand relevant again. And I would argue they did the same thing for Skittles. Like,
oh yeah,
it's just been really fun to kind of, you know, track the trajectory of everyone who came out of that agency and kind of
right.
Yeah.
It's like a creative coaching tree in a way. Right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I had the pleasure of working with Matt Rogers, who was another creative director here for a long time. And he worked on some of those brands. And for me, it felt like such a full circle moment, because then I got plopped in right next to someone who worked alongside people I admired. And then to kind of siphon off those lessons about comedy was really
right.
Yeah.
What sort of shit talking should we do about Andy Pearson right now?
I mean,
he's not here. So, I mean, we just sort of know each other as like industry colleagues. People have said, oh, you guys would get along great. And I mean, he does return my messages, which is nice.
That's cool.
No, he seems cool. And, you know, Mike Cesario, that I'm half Italian. So let's go. Forza Italia.
There's that shared blood. Yeah. Yeah.
So, but I don't know. I don't think we really can shit talk him right now.
You know, I don't even know him.
Really?
Yeah, this is going to be the first, because it is so funny. We have so many like mutual friends.
Oh, right. Yeah. 6 degrees of separation. So it's the Andy Pearson version. Yeah.
And there's this whole like relationship with Liquid Death and Partyland. And I feel like I came into Partyland when that was
right.
Like in its most fun phase. And then it sort of, you know, they took a lot of their work in house and have done an incredible job. And so we've watched it, but I never had the pleasure of working directly with anyone from Liquid Death. Yeah.
Should we talk shit about Haley Hunter?
I could talk shit about Haley Hunter all day. She's the worst boss I've ever had.
Oh God.
Yeah. Can you believe another woman run like, God, women?
There is absolutely no reason that at least 50% of all agencies around the world should be women or minority or non-binary owned. There is no reason for that. Or maybe 60%. By the way, Own It's happening in LA and I'm going to be there. So yeah, there's no reason maybe it should be 80%. I'm just saying.
We can get together with Haley and speak all that nonsense.
Yeah. By the way, that's irony. That's what I want to see.
A little bit of irony.
I know people don't understand irony. Why is he saying they shouldn't do it? It's like, I'm kidding. I want it to be that way.
Satire is another one I'm really bummed to see people not understanding these days.
I know. I've been asking all the questions. Do you have a question you want to ask me?
Yeah. What do you think is the funniest work? I mean, listen, I'm gonna take Partyland out of the equation. What do you think the funniest work is that you're seeing? Smartest, funniest, most effective that's out there right now?
Well, I mean, there's all the British Christmas ads.
Yeah.
I'm still jet lagged, so you're catching me at a bad time. I mean, I really like Pereira Odell and you know, Take Care of Your Boys. I think that was really well done, and again, it's on target for that audience. I mean, again, I really like. I like things that are so simple to understand but have layers and nuance. So it's the work that you've done for Everyman Jack, and so when you start, Dude Wipes, same deal, right? So I don't want to say there's a predictability to it. But the devices have been used. But the fact of the matter is that type of work is comfort food, and it makes me a lot more willing to accept the message as opposed to trying something completely different that I don't understand. One of the things that I love to say is it's important to do things that are familiar but different. So I think that those 3 agencies, so Curiosity, you, Pereira Odell, doing things that are familiar but different, right? And so that's why I think it hammers hard, and I think it really works well is you're not trying to you know exactly what you're getting, and you're pleased by it. So
Yeah. I have to agree. I also think there's something to be said about like the impact of TikTok. I just find even my own
I'm
sense of
not I don't fuck with TikTok.
no. Do you
No, I
want
just
to,
like
or is it just no interest?
well, here's the thing. So I have a private Instagram feed because it's basically kids, dogs, and horses and like landscape, like Oregon, right? And so when I'm on TikTok, it's the same thing. Get me golden retrievers, get me Icelandic horses,
Mm,
whatever. So I know I understand it and I'll fiddle around with it, but I'm not like, Ollie McAteer at Mischief, who's great at it, right? But then again, he's like 80 years younger than me. No, he's not. But he's a much younger than me. But he's excellent at it. Like he's really, really good at it. Yeah, I don't know. I
yeah.
don't know. I think I like depth a little bit more, and I don't know if TikTok affords that. And I'm not trying to be like the old fuddy-duddy here,
Mhm.
but I mean, I got 2 teenage kids. I mean, I'm like, fuck, I got enough going on.
Yeah. No, I hear that. I really do. I think it's like it's one of those things where certain brands will need to perform on TikTok.
Totally.
And
Oh,
I think
totally.
like on the agency side, making sure that we're paying attention and not just paying attention peripherally, spending time with it, understanding
Right.
how the algorithm works and understanding how humor works. And I think once I like got into it and started to actually engage with it and really dive in, it prepared us to start to do some TikTok first work with like Jansport. And then that's where I started to, yeah.
Yep. No, and so the way that I look at it is the same way that you look at it, which is getting that top level understanding and then slowly working down to see where it fits.
Yeah.
Now, this goes a lot deeper than back in the day when it's like, let the kids do the social. It's like, no, you have to be really sophisticated about it. But the good news is a lot of younger and newer talent, they've gotten a lot more sophisticated in the way that they approach it. So if you're a smart leader, yeah, you might fiddle with it, but you're not going to stick your nose into it. You're going to trust that the people that you've brought on to do this are going to do it well.
Yeah.
I look at an agency like Zambezi and their social teams like through the roof awesome, right? And so they know exactly what they're doing and they do it well and they have a point of view and it's it's great. And I'm seeing that more and more because honestly, I was an OG social marketer back in 2010, which was Facebook and Twitter, and I would have conversations with other brands on there and people thought, well, that's insane. Why would you do that? It's like, well, look, people are enjoying that. It's, the word social matters. Right?
The word social matters. And I think it's also, I think now being 15 years down the road from that and with Twitter in particular, or X or whatever, I'll never call it X, but
yeah, no, fuck that.
Yeah, fuck X. Now I think like I'd be really interested to see the case study about how humor developed and sort of it's like comedy is never going to really change in that what's funny is funny and knowing how to write a joke and knowing a one line and knowing how to shape it for Twitter will work. But
structure matters. Everyone forgets how important how important your structure is.
Totally.
The rule of 3 still is in big play. I mean, it absolutely is. These are things that are timeless in comedy and in humor. And so I was a morning show producer. We've gotten so far off topic. This is awesome. We've talked about Andy's thing for about 4 minutes, but I was a morning show producer, and so you think, how do you get into the bit? How do you get out of the bit? What are you going to do while you're in the bit? And it becomes this really collaborative thing, but some of those rules still matter because people are conditioned to understand the structure of a joke. Now you can veer from that a little bit. I look at somebody like a James Acaster, who, by the way, should be huge in the United States in the same way that Richard Ayoade should be huge. Joe Wilkinson should be huge. Catherine Ryan should be huge. Rose Matafeo should be huge. So these are all UK people, by the way. So I'm just giving you like a list of talent to look at for your next brand campaigns. But somebody like a James Acaster, familiar, but he'll veer off into and it's brilliant, right? But you get it. we should probably wrap this up because we've been talking for 20 minutes.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Yeah, this was definitely well, this was cool.
Yeah, this was fun. We should have another conversation and shoot the shit about comedy in general too.
Well, yeah, and I think I'm going to be in LA at the beginning of December. I'm still waiting to hear back from the hotel if we're going to do a happy hour there, but hey, I'll be down. Yeah. I'll see you there.
We can talk the real shit in person.
We can do that, and we'll invite Andy, and if he wants to, I mean, hands and cans, baby.
Right.
Or cans and hands. I got it wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Hanson Cans is the name of their new band, actually.
Again, jet lagged.
Yeah.
Jet lagged. All right, listen. Go back. I'm gonna put you backstage so I can like make this look like it's an actual thing. Okay. All right. Just go backstage for it. Just don't this isn't a fucking Zoom call. Hold on. Oh, and I just cut her off. It's like I hung up on her. Hold on. Go backstage. All right. Is there anything you want to say? Okay. Thank you to Natalia for that. Again, a reminder, Andy's comedy thing, which is, are you still talking?
I'm just.
Well, okay. And we want to thank everybody for joining us. Again, back to Natalia again. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Okay, great. We'll see everybody later.